This episode of Android Q&A is brought to you by Domain.com. So did Santa bring you a sweet new smartphone? Now what do you do with the old one? Well, if you don't want to throw down like Josh and do some drop tests, I can show you how to make some cheddar. Alright, so today we're going to talk about how to sell and make the most money from your old phone rather than sticking it in some old drawer. And we're also going to talk about how to protect your data. Here we go. Number 1, deactivate your phone from your wireless carrier. If you neglect to remove the device from your service provider, your buyer won't be able to activate it when the time comes. They may not have your email address or your new phone number. In many cases, this will be done automatically if you transfer your existing number to a new phone, or if you have a GSM device and remove the SIM card. It will also be difficult to forget that you have an extra line on your account that you're paying for, but still, it does happen, so we're here to remind you. Number 2, back up your data. Before backing up your data to an external drive, it might be best to wait until you get your new replacement device first. If you're replacing a phone or a tablet, the easiest way to complete this step is to simply transfer all of your important data to your new device rather than transferring it later. Android 5.0 Lollipop makes this step easy, allowing you to copy all your data to your new device during the setup process. For most, the most important data is pictures, videos, and music, and that can be done by simply removing your SD card and putting it in a computer to back it up. If your current device does not have an external memory card, you'll need to connect the device to a computer via the micro USB cable. From here, you can drag and drop the files you need to your computer. If you're using this method, many Android devices store multimedia files in the DCIM folder, so pay attention to that when you're hooking up your device. Now, there are app solutions for this. Personally, I use Titanium. It's worked well for me. You may want to check that out. Number 3, remove your SIM card. On some devices, contacts and call logs can be stored on your SIM or micro SD card. So it's really important that you remove these before selling. Now, number 4 is to do a factory reset. Now, this is the fun part. Completely erasing your data or performing a factory reset is the no turning back point of this process. Doing so cannot be reverted, so make sure you follow the steps above properly before you perform this step. The easiest way to do this is to go to Settings, Backup and Reset, then Factory Data Reset. You will likely have to put in your PIN or password if you've set this up, and this will take a few moments to complete. Keep in mind, if you keep a removable SD card in the device, the reset process likely didn't erase the contents of the card, so be aware of that. Now, we want to give a good shout out to our friends at Domain.com, who are your one-step shop for all your domain name and web hosting needs. Now, you should know that it's not all about just .com and .org and .net nowadays. No, they have some great extensions like .nyc, .club, .expert, and my personal favorite, .ninja. The guys at Domain.com want to hook our friends up with a great offer. You can save 15% off domain names and web hostings when you use our coupon code Android at domainname.com's checkout. Remember, don't forget 50% off when you use coupon code Android. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Alright, so number 5 is now to choose the avenue through which you want to sell your device. And we'll start with eBay. Now, although eBay is not my first choice, it does have some advantages. One, you can reach the largest market. They sell to pretty much everywhere on the planet. And if you're a US resident, you have an increased measure of protection, especially if you're using PayPal through eBay. Now, if you're not selling from the US as a US resident, there's still some measure of protection, but you have to look through eBay's frequently asked questions. The problem with eBay, though, is their hefty fees. If you're selling a device that's, $200 or $300, you're going to be spending or have to pay quite hefty fees to sell the device on eBay. So it's not my first choice. Now, the second option is Gazelle. If you go to Gazelle.com, you input your device, you also input the current condition of your device, and Gazelle.com will tell you how much money they'll give you for that particular phone or tablet, and shipping is free. Also, Gazelle.com has a good reputation for disposing of their devices in an environmentally sustainable way. Not bad. Now, the third and final suggestion for selling your device is to do it really on your own through sites like Craigslist and Kijiji. Kijiji is a site here in Canada that's a lot like Craigslist, and you have to do more of the work yourself, and you almost certainly will sell it locally or a place that you can drive to, or your buyer can come and pick it up. And you have to negotiate and be willing to go meet someone or have them come to your house. So there are drawbacks like that. But when you're selling a large device like a phone that's a couple or a few $100s, or I sold my MacBook Pro this way, I really don't want to pay hefty eBay fees or fees on other eBay competitor sites. That really is the best way to do it if you're willing to do more of the work yourself. Thanks for watching, Android Army. My name is Jace. I'd love to connect with you right here on Google Plus or Twitter. I read all my app replies and comments and respond to as many as I can. You don't want to forget about my brethren in Android, Josh, Joe, and the Tech Ninja, Kevin, Lon, and Chris, Gary and Ash, all working really hard to deliver the best Android content on the web. You'll be loving our CS coverage. They're coming out in droves. I shall see you next week on Android Q&A.